Who bought the bankrupt Woolworths company in February 2009? David and Frederick Barclay. Woolworths Group plc, a long-standing British high street retailer, went into administration in late 2008 and ceased trading in January 2009. Its brand name and intellectual property were subsequently acquired in February 2009 by Shop Direct Group, owned by the billionaire brothers David and Frederick Barclay, marking a significant event in UK retail history. French winemakers objected to EU plans to allow the blending of which type of wine? Rosé. This question refers to a significant debate in 2009 within the European Union regarding wine production regulations. French winemakers, particularly, opposed the EU proposal to permit blending red and white wines to create rosé, arguing it undermined traditional winemaking methods and consumer perception of quality. Australian novelist Harry Nicolaides was jailed in January 2009 for insulting the monarchy in which country? Thailand. Harry Nicolaides, an Australian writer, was imprisoned in Thailand in 2009 for violating the country's strict lèse-majesté laws through a passage in his self-published novel. This incident drew international attention to Thailand's defamation laws concerning the monarchy and freedom of expression. Whose 100th anniversary was commemorated on a 2009 £2 coin? Charles Darwin. The year 2009 marked the 200th anniversary of Charles Darwin's birth and the 150th anniversary of the publication of his seminal work, On the Origin of Species. The Royal Mint issued a special commemorative £2 coin to honor his profound contributions to evolutionary biology and scientific thought. According to a global property study, which city was identified as having the most expensive property in the world in 2009? Monte Carlo. In 2009, Monte Carlo, the capital of Monaco, was frequently cited in global property studies as having the highest real estate values worldwide. This is attributed to its status as a luxury destination, tax haven, and limited land availability, attracting ultra-high net worth individuals. Tzipi Livni led her Kadima party in the national elections of which country? Israel. Tzipi Livni was a leading political figure in Israel, serving as the leader of the Kadima party. She played a significant role in Israeli politics, including holding ministerial positions and participating in peace negotiations, notably contesting the 2009 general election as Kadima's candidate for prime minister. What website, founded by Biz Stone and Jack Dorsey, was a prominent news topic in 2009? Twitter. Twitter, co-founded by Jack Dorsey, Noah Glass, Biz Stone, and Evan Williams, launched in 2006 and rapidly gained global prominence by 2009. It became a major platform for real-time news, communication, and social networking, influencing public discourse and media. In 2009, the Indian corporation Tata launched a new product priced at 100,000 rupees, £1,350. What was this product? Car. In 2009, the Indian conglomerate Tata Motors launched the Tata Nano, famously marketed as the world's cheapest car. Priced affordably, it aimed to make car ownership accessible to a broader segment of the Indian population, marking a significant event in the automotive industry. Name the British mercenary who received a presidential pardon in 2009, reducing his 34-year jail term for his role in a failed coup in Equatorial Guinea. Simon Munn. Simon Munn, a former British SAS officer, was convicted for his involvement in a failed 2004 coup attempt against the government of Equatorial Guinea. He was granted a presidential pardon and released from prison in 2009, an event that garnered international attention. In which country did President Hugo Chavez have a disagreement with Coca-Cola regarding land designated for housing in 2009? Venezuela. In 2009, President Hugo Chavez of Venezuela announced plans to expropriate land owned by Coca-Cola FEMSA for the construction of public housing. This action was part of his broader socialist agenda aimed at redistributing wealth and resources to address social inequalities. What new biodegradable product, made from natural shakal, was launched in the UK under the Chicha Rainforest brand in 2009? Chewing gum. Chicha Rainforest chewing gum, launched in the UK in 2009, was a notable biodegradable product made from natural shakal, sustainably sourced from the Mayan rainforest. It offered an environmentally friendly alternative to conventional chewing gums, which often contain synthetic polymers. Which UK doorstep loan company collapsed in 2009 with debts totaling £2.4 billion? Cattles. Cattles plc, a major UK subprime lender, faced severe financial difficulties and collapsed in 2009 with £2.4 billion in debt. Its insolvency was a significant event in the UK financial sector during the post-global financial crisis period, highlighting issues within the doorstep lending market. What was the name of the British submarine that collided with the French submarine Le Triomphant in February 2009? HMS Vanguard. In February 2009, HMS Vanguard, a British Vanguard-class nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarine, collided with the French Triomphant-class nuclear submarine Le Triomphant in the Atlantic Ocean. This rare incident, though causing no nuclear breach, raised concerns about naval operations and submarine stealth capabilities. What did Eric Holder, as the new U.S. Attorney General, define as torture that Dick Cheney stated was not? Waterboarding. Waterboarding is a simulated drowning technique used as an interrogation method. Its classification as torture has been a subject of intense debate, with international human rights organizations in many countries condemning it as a violation of international law. Carol Ann Duffy became the UK's first female what? Poet Laureate. Carol Ann Duffy was appointed Poet Laureate of the United Kingdom in 2009, making her the first woman to hold the prestigious office. The Poet Laureate is an honorary position in the UK, tasked with composing official poems for significant national occasions. What controversial incendiary ingredient was Israel accused of using in bombings of Gaza? White phosphorus. White phosphorus is a chemical substance used in some munitions for smoke screens, illumination, or as an incendiary weapon. Its use in densely populated civilian areas is highly controversial and scrutinized under international humanitarian law due to the severe burns it causes. Which UK organization announced the creation of 1,000 new garden allotments in February 2009? The National Trust. The National Trust is a conservation charity in England, Wales, and Northern Ireland, dedicated to preserving historic places and natural spaces. Allotments are small plots of land rented for growing food, promoting sustainable living and community engagement. A US Airways Airbus ditched into which river after hitting a flock of birds in January 2009? Hudson. This refers to the Miracle on the Hudson incident in January 2009, where Captain Chesley Sully Sullenberger successfully landed US Airways Flight 1549 on the Hudson River. This extraordinary feat of aviation skill saved all 155 passengers and crew after a bird strike disabled both engines. What did Russian cargo ship Sinegursk lose 1,500 tons of in the English Channel? Timber. Maritime incidents involving cargo loss, such as timber spills from cargo ships, can create navigational hazards for other vessels and pose environmental risks. Such events highlight the importance of proper cargo securing and maritime safety regulations in busy shipping lanes like the English Channel. The BBC and Sky controversially refused to broadcast a humanitarian appeal for war in January 2009. Gaza. In January 2009, both BBC and Sky controversially declined to broadcast a humanitarian appeal for the victims of the conflict in Gaza, citing concerns over maintaining impartiality. This decision sparked widespread public debate and criticism regarding media ethics and coverage of international conflicts. Tycoon Alan Stanford, whose business empire collapsed in 2009, was chiefly associated with which sport? Cricket. Alan Stanford was an American financier and cricket promoter whose multi-billion-dollar Ponzi scheme collapsed in 2009. While his financial fraud was extensive, he gained significant public profile through his heavy investment and association with professional cricket, particularly in the Caribbean. He was subsequently convicted on multiple fraud charges. Ngati Toa, a New Zealand tribal group, won the intellectual property rights to what? The Maori hacker. The Ngati Toa, a Maori Iwi tribe, from New Zealand, successfully secured the intellectual property rights to the famous commute hacker in 2009. This move aimed to protect the cultural integrity and prevent the commercial misuse of this traditional ceremonial dance, which holds deep spiritual and historical significance for the Maori people. Who was the first female president of the Philippines, who died in August 2009? Corazon Aquino. Corazon Aquino served as the 11th president of the Philippines from 1986 to 1992, becoming the first female president of the country. Her presidency followed the People Power Revolution, which peacefully overthrew the authoritarian rule of Ferdinand Marcos. In December 2009, Ford Motor Company agreed to sell which famous car subsidiary to China's Zhejiang Geely Holding Group? Volvo. In 2009, American automaker Ford Motor Company announced the sale of its Swedish subsidiary, Volvo Cars, to the Chinese multinational automotive company Zhejiang Geely Holding Group. This acquisition marked a significant shift in the global automotive industry, demonstrating the growing influence of Chinese manufacturers. The European Union banned the manufacture of which wattage incandescent light bulb in 2009? 100 watt. In 2009, the European Union implemented a ban on the manufacture and import of traditional 100-watt incandescent light bulbs as part of its energy efficiency directives. This measure aimed to reduce energy consumption and carbon emissions by promoting more energy-efficient lighting alternatives like CFLs and LEDs. Which South Pacific island nation became the first in the 21st century to change its driving on the road from right to left? Samoa. In September 2009, Samoa officially switched its traffic flow from right-hand driving to left-hand driving, becoming the first country in decades to make such a change. The primary reason for this significant policy shift was to align with Australia and New Zealand, facilitating easier import of vehicles and promoting regional integration. A large statue of Apollo was discovered at a UNESCO World Heritage Site in which country? Turkey. In 2009, archaeologists discovered a significant marble statue of Apollo at the ancient city of Hierapolis, a UNESCO World Heritage Site in Turkey. Hierapolis, known for its thermal springs and ancient ruins, including a well-preserved Roman theatre, is an important archaeological site that continues to yield valuable insights into Greco-Roman civilization. What international organization did Albania and Croatia join on the 1st of April 2009? NATO. NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, is a key international security alliance. Albania and Croatia's accession in 2009 marked a significant expansion of the alliance into the Balkans, reinforcing collective security agreements in the region. Which African country replaced most of its senior police officers after they were blamed for post-election violence? Kenya. Kenya experienced severe post-election violence in late 2007 and early 2008, leading to international scrutiny and calls for reform. The replacement of senior police officers was part of broader efforts to address accountability and restore public trust in law enforcement following allegations of misconduct during the unrest. 10 paintings by which U.S. artist was stolen from the private collection of Richard Wiseman in Los Angeles. Andy Warhol. Andy Warhol was a leading figure in the pop art movement, known for his iconic silkscreen prints of everyday objects and celebrity portraits. The theft of his paintings is significant due to his stature as one of the most influential artists of the 20th century, making such incidents newsworthy in the art world. The Raptorex creekstini, a smaller version of the Tyrannosaurus rex, was discovered in which country? China. The discovery of Raptorex creekstini in China was significant for understanding the evolution of tyrannosaurids. This smaller dinosaur, found in older rock formations, suggested that key tyrannosaur features like the massive skull and powerful bite evolved before the dinosaurs grew to the gigantic sizes seen in species like Tyrannosaurus rex. A painting by which surrealist artist was stolen from a Brussels museum? René Magritte. René Magritte was a prominent Belgian surrealist artist known for his thought-provoking images and dreamlike scenarios. The theft of a significant artwork by a master like Magritte often becomes a notable cultural event, testing general knowledge on art history and cultural heritage. Which U.S. city lost its bid to host the summer 2016 Olympics? Chicago. Chicago was one of the candidate cities for the 2016 Summer Olympics, which ultimately were awarded to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Such Olympic bids involve significant geopolitical and economic considerations, making the host city selection process a common topic in current affairs and international relations. What was the name of the typhoon which hit the Philippines in October 2009? Palma. Typhoon Palma, known as Peping in the Philippines, was a powerful tropical cyclone that caused significant damage and fatalities in the Philippines in October 2009. Naming and tracking major typhoons and hurricanes are crucial for disaster preparedness and general geographical awareness. What was the descriptive and related name given to a smaller prehistoric site discovered near Stonehenge? Bluehenge. Bluehenge is an archaeological site discovered in 2009 near Stonehenge in Wiltshire, England. It is believed to have been a timber circle, named for the blue stones found there, suggesting a ceremonial connection to the famous megalithic monument. A new ring was discovered around which planet in 2009? Saturn. A previously unknown faint ring, now known as the Phoebe ring, was discovered around Saturn in 2009 by the Spitzer Space Telescope. This massive but diffuse ring, composed of material from the planet's moon Phoebe, is the largest known planetary ring in our solar system. The Red Book, first published in 2009, largely unseen for 70 years, was written by what notable Swiss psychiatrist? Carl Jung. Carl Jung's The Red Book, Liber Novus, is a highly personal and illustrated manuscript documenting his confrontation with the unconscious between 1914 and 1930. Its publication in 2009, after being largely private for decades, was a significant event for scholars of psychology, philosophy, and Jungian analysis. Which author's funeral took place in Baltimore, U.S., 160 years after his death? Edgar Allan Poe. A ceremonial funeral for Edgar Allan Poe was held in Baltimore in 2009, 160 years after his original burial. This event commemorated the influential American writer, known for his tales of mystery and the macabre, acknowledging his enduring legacy in literature. The painting La Bella Principessa was attributed to which artist and inventor using fingerprint evidence? Leonardo da Vinci. La Bella Principessa is a portrait attributed to Leonardo da Vinci, a claim strongly supported by various studies, including the discovery of a fingerprint matching others on Leonardo's confirmed works. This attribution highlights the use of scientific methods in art historical research to confirm authorship of valuable masterpieces. What country first declared internet broadband access to be a legal right? Finland. Finland was the first country to declare internet broadband access a legal right, effective July 2010. This pioneering policy ensured that every citizen had access to a minimum speed internet connection, recognizing its fundamental importance for social and economic participation in the modern era. Which island nation held the world's first underwater cabinet meeting to publicize global warming? The Maldives. The Maldives, an island nation highly vulnerable to rising sea levels, held the world's first underwater cabinet meeting in 2009. Led by then-President Mohammad Nasheed, this symbolic event aimed to draw urgent international attention to the existential threat posed by global warming and climate change. Ratu Epeli Nelatikau was sworn in as president of which country? Fiji. Ratu Epeli Nelatikau served as the president of Fiji from 2009 to 2015. His appointment came during a period of significant political transition in the Pacific island nation, highlighting the evolving political landscape of the region. Anti-monarchy protesters clashed with riot police in Montreal during a tour by which British royal figure? Prince Charles. During a 2009 royal tour of Canada, Prince Charles, now King Charles III, faced anti-monarchy protests in Montreal, which led to confrontations with riot police. This incident underscored the persistent Republican sentiments and ongoing debates surrounding the role of the British monarchy in Commonwealth realms. Which American actor and film director was awarded the rank of Commander of the Legion d'Honneur in 2009? Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood, an iconic American actor and film director, was bestowed with the rank of Commander of the Legion d'Honneur by France in 2009. This prestigious French national order recognized his profound and lasting contributions to the art of cinema and global culture. In which U.S. state did the first legal recreational marijuana cafe open? Oregon. Oregon became one of the first U.S. states to legalize recreational marijuana, paving the way for the establishment of regulated consumption spaces. The opening of such cafes reflects evolving drug policies and their impact on local economies and social norms. What was the value of the UK's cold weather payment per eligible low-income household, as triggered by severe freezing conditions in late 2009? £25. The UK's cold weather payment is a government initiative to assist low-income households during periods of sustained cold weather. It provides financial support to help recipients cover increased heating costs, aiming to mitigate the impact of extreme temperatures on vulnerable populations. Human rights activist Kumi Naidu became the first African to lead which prominent international environmental organization? Greenpeace. Kumi Naidu, a distinguished human rights and environmental activist from South Africa, made history by becoming the first African to serve as the executive director of Greenpeace International. His appointment in 2009 highlighted a growing emphasis on linking environmental justice with social and human rights issues globally. Which renowned Russian-American author's incomplete novel, The Original of Laura, was published posthumously 32 years after his death? Vladimir Nabokov. The Original of Laura is the final, unfinished novel by Vladimir Nabokov, author of Lolita. Published in 2009, 32 years after his passing, the book consists of his handwritten index cards that the family debated whether to destroy or publish, ultimately deciding to release it. According to a ruling by the European Court of Justice, what is the minimum duration of a flight delay after which airlines are obliged to compensate passengers? 3 hours. The European Court of Justice (ECJ) ruled that passengers are entitled to compensation for flight delays of 3 hours or more, aligning delays with cancellations in terms of passenger rights. This landmark decision strengthens consumer protection for air travelers within the European Union, ensuring airlines are held accountable for significant disruptions. What major particle accelerator, located on the French-Swiss border, was restarted in 2009 after undergoing extensive repairs? The Large Hadron Collider. The Large Hadron Collider, LHC, is the world's largest and most powerful particle accelerator, situated at CERN near Geneva. It was restarted in 2009 after significant repairs following a technical incident, subsequently playing a crucial role in scientific discoveries such as the confirmation of the Higgs boson. Upon its completion in 2009, Oasis of the Seas set a record for being the world's largest what? Cruise ship. Launched in 2009, Oasis of the Seas was groundbreaking for its immense size and innovative design, becoming the world's largest cruise ship at the time. Its construction marked a significant achievement in maritime engineering and propelled the cruise industry towards larger, more luxurious vessels. Two fingers and a tooth belonging to what famous father of science were rediscovered after being missing for over 100 years? Galileo Galilei. Galileo Galilei, an Italian astronomer, physicist, and engineer, is often referred to as the father of observational astronomy and the father of modern physics. His remains, including two fingers and a tooth, were rediscovered in 2009 after being missing for over a century, offering a unique insight into the historical reverence for scientific figures. What North England town lost vital bridges in the November 2009 floods and subsequently gained a new railway station? Workington. Workington, a town in Cumbria, North England, was severely affected by floods in November 2009. The extreme weather led to the collapse of vital bridges, isolating the town and necessitating the rapid construction of a temporary railway station to maintain connectivity. This event highlighted regional vulnerability to climate phenomena. A 2009 referendum in which country banned the construction of new Islamic minarets? Switzerland. In a controversial 2009 national referendum, Switzerland voted to ban the construction of new minarets, which are towers typically found alongside mosques. This decision sparked international debate regarding religious freedom, integration, and the role of direct democracy in sensitive social issues within a multicultural society. Which country saw court battles surrounding gay marriage and specifically the ceremony for Alex Freire and José María Bello? Argentina. Argentina was a pioneering country in Latin America regarding LGBTQ+ rights, experiencing significant court battles leading up to the legalization of same-sex marriage. The case of Alex Freire and José María Bello in 2009 played a pivotal role, challenging existing legal frameworks and ultimately contributing to Argentina becoming the first country in the region to fully legalize same-sex marriage in 2010. The new Dreamliner passenger aircraft launched in 2009 is Boeing number what? 787. The Boeing 787 Dreamliner is a long-haul, mid-size wide-body, twin-engine jet airliner developed by Boeing Commercial Airplanes. Launched in 2009, it introduced several technological advancements, including extensive use of composite materials for reduced weight and improved fuel efficiency, revolutionizing commercial aviation. A Ryanair jet slid off the runway at which Scottish airport? Prestwick. In December 2009, a Ryanair Boeing 737 aircraft slid off the runway upon landing at Glasgow Prestwick Airport in Scotland during adverse weather conditions. Although no serious injuries were reported, the incident highlighted concerns about operational safety protocols and runway conditions in challenging meteorological environments at regional airports. Porfirio Lobo Sosa was elected president of which Central American nation? Honduras. Porfirio Lobo Sosa was elected president of Honduras in November 2009, following a period of significant political instability and a coup d'etat earlier that year. His election marked a crucial step in the country's efforts to restore constitutional order and diplomatic relations after the controversial ousting of President Manuel Zelaya. Who won a third term as mayor of New York City in 2009? Michael Bloomberg. Michael Bloomberg served as the mayor of New York City for 3 consecutive terms, from 2002 to 2013. His victory in 2009 marked his third term, making him a significant figure in the city's modern political history. The body of which country's former president was stolen from its grave a day before the anniversary of his death? Cyprus. The body of Tassos Papadopoulos, former president of Cyprus, was stolen from its grave in December 2009. Papadopoulos served as president from 2003 to 2008. The theft sparked a major investigation and caused significant public and political consternation. Which city hosted the 2009 UN Climate Change Conference? Copenhagen. The 2009 United Nations Climate Change Conference, commonly known as COP15, was held in Copenhagen, Denmark. The conference aimed to establish an ambitious global climate agreement but concluded with the non-legally binding Copenhagen Accord, marking a significant event in international climate negotiations. What invertebrate species was filmed for the first time using a tool? Octopus. In a groundbreaking observation, veined octopuses were filmed carrying discarded coconut shells, demonstrating tool use for shelter. This behavior, first documented in 2009, highlights the complex intelligence and problem-solving abilities of these marine invertebrates, offering insights into cognitive evolution. Ike Aronowitz, who died aged 86 in 2009, captained what vessel, subject of a highly symbolic book and film? Exodus. Ike Aronowitz was the captain of the SS Exodus, a ship that carried Jewish Holocaust survivors attempting to immigrate to Palestine in 1947. The ship's journey and the British authorities' refusal to allow its passengers to disembark became a symbol of the struggle for Jewish statehood and humanitarian crisis. Part of which iconic leader's palace was discovered by archaeologists in the Mediterranean Sea? Cleopatra. Archaeologists discovered ruins believed to be part of Cleopatra's palace in the Mediterranean Sea near Alexandria, Egypt. These submerged ruins offer insights into the Ptolemaic dynasty and the life of one of history's most famous female rulers, Cleopatra VII. Discovered in 1996, element 112, symbol Cp, was added to the periodic table with what name, in honor of a famous astronomer? Copernicum. Element 112, discovered in 1996, was officially named Copernicum, symbol Cn, in 2010. It was named in honor of Nicolaus Copernicus, the famous astronomer who proposed the heliocentric model of the universe. This synthetic superheavy element is highly radioactive and unstable. What was the destination city of the plane carrying Umar Farouk Abdulmutallab, the underpants bomber? Detroit. Umar Farouk Abdulmutallab attempted to detonate plastic explosives hidden in his underwear on Christmas Day 2009 aboard Northwest Airlines Flight 253, en route from Amsterdam to Detroit. The incident highlighted vulnerabilities in aviation security and led to enhanced screening procedures at airports globally. A hugely valuable little sculpted guitar recently recovered by police in Italy was made by which cubist artist for his daughter Paloma? Pablo Picasso. Pablo Picasso, a pioneering figure in the Cubist movement, created a unique sculpted guitar for his daughter Paloma. This specific artwork underscores Picasso's versatility and his profound influence on 20th-century art, extending beyond traditional painting and sculpture. What type of musical instrument is a tabor? Drum. A tabor is a small cylindrical drum, typically played with one hand, often accompanying a pipe or flute played with the other. This percussion instrument has historical significance, particularly in medieval and early modern European music and folk traditions. The Japanese company Ajinomoto, meaning essence of taste, was formed in 1909 to market which popular food ingredient? Monosodium glutamate. Monosodium glutamate, MSG, is a sodium salt of glutamic acid, a naturally occurring amino acid, widely used as a flavor enhancer to impart an umami taste. The Japanese company Ajinomoto played a pioneering role in its commercial production and marketing, starting in 1909. Palomino is a variety of which fruit? Grape. Palomino is a prominent white grape variety primarily cultivated in Spain, especially in the Jerez region of Andalusia. It is the principal grape used in the production of sherry wine, valued for its resilience in warm, dry climates. Forefathers' Day is celebrated in the US on which date? The 21st of December. Forefathers' Day commemorates the landing of the Pilgrims at Plymouth Rock in 1620, an event pivotal to the establishment of Plymouth Colony in North America. Primarily observed in Plymouth, Massachusetts, it serves as a historical remembrance of the early European settlement and its cultural legacy in the United States. What city has the busiest European underground railway system? Moscow. The Moscow Metro is one of the world's busiest subway systems, renowned for its ornate stations and extensive network. It serves as a vital artery for public transportation, connecting millions of passengers across the city daily. Joseph Addison and Richard Steele founded, in 1711, and Boris Johnson edited, which British magazine? The Spectator. The Spectator is a prominent British weekly magazine focusing on politics, culture, and current affairs, founded in 1711 by Joseph Addison and Richard Steele. It holds the distinction of being one of the oldest continually published magazines in the English language. Who was burned at the stake, age 19, in Rouen in 1431? Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc was a French peasant girl who, believing she was acting under divine guidance, led the French army to several important victories during the 100 Years' War. She was captured, tried for heresy, and burned at the stake in 1431, later becoming a national heroine and patron saint of France. What is the plant genus of the decorative bouquet filler used by florists called baby's breath or soapwort? Gypsophila. Gypsophila is a genus of flowering plants belonging to the carnation family, Caryophyllaceae. Commonly known as baby's breath, its delicate, small flowers are widely utilized in floral arrangements as a popular filler, adding volume and texture. What were Brazilians encouraged to grow in 2009 as a protest against President Sani, accused of embezzlement and nepotism? Mustaches. In 2009, Brazilians were encouraged to grow mustaches as a symbolic protest against then-President of the Senate José Sani, who faced accusations of embezzlement and nepotism. This unique form of civil disobedience aimed to highlight public dissatisfaction with political corruption and dynastic power. Catherine of Valois was the wife of which English king? Henry V. Catherine of Valois was the queen consort of England from 1420 to 1422 as the wife of King Henry V. Their marriage was a significant political alliance formed through the Treaty of Troyes, intended to unite the crowns of England and France. She was also the mother of Henry VI. What is the capital of the Bahamas? Nassau. Nassau is the capital and largest city of the Bahamas, an island nation in the Atlantic Ocean. Situated on New Providence Island, it serves as the country's primary commercial, administrative, and cultural hub, as well as a major tourist destination. What number is produced by displaying one of each of the Roman numerals, in descending order? 1666. Roman numerals are a numerical system used in ancient Rome, employing combinations of letters from the Latin alphabet. Arranging the unique Roman numerals in descending order, MDCLXVI, represents 1000 plus 500 plus 100 plus 50 plus 10 plus 5 plus 1, which sums to 1666. What commonly occurring gas has the chemical formula CH4? Methane. Methane, CH4, is the simplest alkane and the primary component of natural gas, a widely used fossil fuel. It is also a potent greenhouse gas, contributing significantly to atmospheric warming and climate change, produced naturally through anaerobic decomposition. What type of dangerous creature is a Massasauga? Snake. The Massasauga, Cistrurus catenatus, is a species of venomous rattlesnake native to North America. It is recognized by its stout body, keeled scales, and a rattle at the end of its tail, serving as a warning to potential threats. What was the only painting Vincent van Gogh is known to have sold during his lifetime? The Red Vineyard et al.'s. The Red Vineyard et al.'s Le Vigne Rouge is an oil painting by Vincent van Gogh, created in November 1888. This particular work holds significance as it is the only painting for which there is documented evidence of Van Gogh selling it during his lifetime, purchased by Anna Bosch for 400 Belgian francs. What is the fourth root of 81? 3. The fourth root of a number, x, is a value, y, such that when y is multiplied by itself 4 times, the result is x, y times y times y times y equals x. In this case, 3 multiplied by itself 4 times, 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, equals 81, making 3 the fourth root. The plant Nicotiana tabacum is more commonly known by what name? Tobacco. Nicotiana tabacum is the scientific name for the common tobacco plant, a species of cultivated plant in the Solanaceae family. It is primarily grown for its leaves, which are processed into tobacco products such as cigarettes, cigars, and chewing tobacco. What term refers to the killing of one's wife? Exoricide. Exoricide is a specific term referring to the act of a husband killing his wife. Such precise terminology is often tested in competitive exams, particularly in sections related to law, criminology, or general vocabulary. Approximately how many kilometers does light travel in 1 hour? 1 billion 80 million kilometers. The speed of light in a vacuum is approximately 299,792.458 kilometers per second. Therefore, in 1 hour, 3,600 seconds, light travels approximately 1,079,252,848.8 kilometers, which is close to 1.08 billion kilometers. What significant disastrous event occurred in England in 1666? The Great Fire of London. The Great Fire of London was a major conflagration that swept through the central parts of London from Sunday the 2nd of September to Thursday the 6th of September 1666. It destroyed over 13,000 houses and 87 parish churches, including St. Paul's Cathedral, reshaping the city's architecture and urban planning. What formal two-word term refers to the comprehensive investigation conducted before finalizing a business investment or acquisition? Due diligence. Due diligence is a critical process involving research and an investigation into a business or person prior to entering into an agreement or financial transaction. It is essential for identifying potential risks, liabilities, and opportunities, thereby informing a sound decision-making process in corporate finance and legal contexts. Individuals born approximately between 1960 and 1980 are commonly referred to by which generational designation? Generation X. Generation X typically refers to the demographic cohort following the baby boomers and preceding millennials, with birth years generally ranging from the early 1960s to the early 1980s. This generation is often characterized by self-reliance and adaptability, shaped by significant societal changes during their formative years. Donald Tusk became the Prime Minister of which country in November 2007? Poland. Donald Tusk is a prominent Polish politician who first served as Prime Minister of Poland from 2007 to 2014. He later became President of the European Council, 2014 to 2019, and returned as Prime Minister of Poland in December 2023, making his political career highly significant in both national and European contexts. Known as Coleoptera, meaning sheathed wing, which common order of creatures encompasses more species than any other? Beetles. Coleoptera is the largest order of insects, accounting for about 40% of all known insect species. Beetles are found in nearly all habitats, showcasing an extraordinary diversity in form, function, and ecological roles across the globe. In mathematics, what concept does the symbol infinity, a sideways 8, represent? Infinity. The symbol infinity represents infinity, a concept describing something without any limit or bound. It is widely used in mathematics, particularly in calculus and set theory, to denote quantities that are endless or uncountable. Who was King Henry VIII's sixth wife? Catherine Parr. Catherine Parr was the sixth and final wife of King Henry VIII of England, marrying him in 1543. She outlived the king and played a significant role in the education and spiritual development of his children, including the future Elizabeth I. Which playwright wrote Cat on a Hot Tin Roof? Tennessee Williams. Cat on a Hot Tin Roof is a critically acclaimed play by American playwright Tennessee Williams, first performed in 1955. The play explores themes of truth, lies, desire, and death within a Southern family, earning Williams a Pulitzer Prize for drama. What does a Leyden jar store? Static electricity. A Leyden jar is an early type of capacitor used to store a large amount of static electric charge. Invented in 1745, it was crucial in early electrical experiments and demonstrations, demonstrating the principles of charge storage. MI6 is the major stock exchange of which country? Russia. MICEX, or the Moscow Interbank Currency Exchange, was a major stock exchange in Russia before its merger with RTS in 2011 to form the Moscow Exchange, MOEX. It was a key platform for trading securities, foreign currencies, and derivatives, reflecting Russia's economic landscape. The American Academy of Arts and Sciences was founded in which city in 1780? Boston. The American Academy of Arts and Sciences is one of the oldest learned societies in the United States, established during the American Revolution. Founded in 1780 by prominent figures like John Adams, its mission is to honor excellence and provide independent policy advice. In which country was the painter Ford Madox Brown born? France. Ford Madox Brown, a significant figure associated with the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood, was born in Calais, France, to English parents. Despite his French birthplace, he spent the majority of his life and artistic career in England, influencing Victorian art. Which country had the Roman name Cambria? Wales. The Roman name Cambria refers to Wales, deriving from Cymru, the native Welsh name for Wales. This historical nomenclature reflects the deep ancient Celtic roots and distinct cultural identity of the region. What word, meaning something left in a will, also refers to an old and incompatible organizational computing system? Legacy. The term legacy refers to something inherited or passed down, often from a previous era or an ancestor. In technology, a legacy system denotes an outdated hardware or software infrastructure that is still in use but may present compatibility and integration challenges with newer technologies. Alpha, Nevada, and snow crown are types of which vegetable? Cauliflower. Alpha, Nevada, and snow crown are specific cultivars or varieties of cauliflower, a popular cruciferous vegetable. These varieties are distinguished by their growth characteristics, maturity periods, and suitability for different climates. What was the name of the space shuttle which exploded after takeoff in January 1986? Challenger. The Space Shuttle Challenger disintegrated 73 seconds after liftoff on January 28, 1986, killing all 7 crew members. The disaster was attributed to a faulty O-ring seal in one of its solid rocket boosters, leading to structural failure. Which year saw the last commercial hovercraft English Channel crossing? 2000. The last commercial passenger hovercraft service across the English Channel ceased operations in 2000. This marked the end of an era for this unique mode of transport, which was eventually superseded by faster catamaran ferries and the Channel Tunnel. What is the medical condition herpes zoster commonly called? Shingles. Herpes zoster is the medical term for shingles, a viral infection that causes a painful rash. It is caused by the reactivation of the varicella zoster virus, the same virus responsible for chicken pox, typically affecting individuals who have had chicken pox previously. What breed of dog is known as the carriage dog, having been trained to run with horse-drawn carriages as guard dogs? Dalmatian. The Dalmatian breed is historically known as the carriage dog, due to its traditional role of accompanying horse-drawn carriages. These dogs were valued for their stamina, distinctive appearance, and ability to guard horses and carriages, especially in the 18th and 19th centuries. In which country is Timbuktu? Mali. Timbuktu is a historic city in Mali, West Africa, renowned for its ancient universities and is a center for Islamic scholarship and trade during the Mali Empire. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, famous for its mud brick architecture and manuscripts. What is the title of Thomas Hardy's last novel? Jude the Obscure. Jude the Obscure, published in 1895, is the final completed novel by English author Thomas Hardy. The novel explores themes of social class, education, religion, and marriage, and its controversial reception led Hardy to abandon novel writing. Genophobia is the irrational fear of what part of the body? Knee. Genophobia refers to an intense and irrational fear of knees, whether one's own or those of others. This specific phobia can cause significant distress and avoidance behaviors in affected individuals. The North England town of Beverley is named after what creature? Beaver. The town of Beverley in the East Riding of Yorkshire, England, derives its name from Beverloch, meaning beaver lake or beaver stream. This suggests that beavers, now largely absent, were historically prevalent in the region's waterways. Köppen-Geiger is the name of a classification system for what? Climate. The Köppen-Geiger climate classification system is a widely used scheme for classifying the world's climates based on vegetation, temperature, and precipitation patterns. Developed by Vladimir Köppen in 1884 and later refined by Rudolf Geiger, It helps in understanding and mapping global climatic zones. The Greek word zero, pronounced zero, in xerography and related terminology means what? Dry. The prefix zero originates from the Greek word xeros, meaning dry. It is commonly used in scientific and technical terms, such as xerography, dry writing, referring to photocopying, and xerophytes, plants adapted to dry environments. Dove weave, pronounced dove vive, means, where do you live, in what language? Italian. Dove weave is an interrogative phrase in Italian, directly translating to, where do you live? This basic question is fundamental for introductions and understanding someone's residence in Italian-speaking contexts. In astronomy and metaphorical language, what is the opposite of zenith? Nadir. In astronomy, the zenith is the point directly above an observer, while the nadir is the point directly below. Metaphorically, zenith represents the peak or highest point, and nadir signifies the lowest or most disparate point. What is the standard geometric name for a regular quadrilateral? Square. A regular quadrilateral is a polygon with 4 equal sides and 4 equal interior angles. This specific geometric shape is universally known as a square, possessing properties such as parallel opposite sides and all angles measuring 90 degrees. What inventor was nicknamed the Wizard of Menlo Park? Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison, a prolific American inventor and businessman, earned the nickname, the Wizard of Menlo Park, due to his invention factory in Menlo Park, New Jersey. This laboratory was instrumental in developing many significant inventions, including the phonograph, the incandescent light bulb, and the motion picture camera. In which year were car tax discs launched in the UK? 1921. The car tax disc was introduced in the United Kingdom in 1921 as a visible proof of payment for vehicle excise duty, WADE, commonly known as road tax. This system ensured that all vehicles using public roads contributed to their maintenance and development. Diabolism is the worship of what? The devil. Diabolism refers to the worship of or belief in the devil or evil spirits. It is a concept often associated with certain occult practices and is distinct from general forms of demonology. Who was the Prime Minister of Rhodesia from 1965 to 79? Ian Smith. Ian Smith was the controversial Prime Minister of Rhodesia, now Zimbabwe, who unilaterally declared independence from the United Kingdom in 1965. His regime maintained white minority rule until 1979, leading to international isolation and a protracted civil war. Former FBI Director W. Mark Felt revealed himself in 2005 to be what codenamed whistleblower? Deep Throat. W. Mark Felt, the former Associate Director of the FBI, was famously the anonymous source known as Deep Throat during the Watergate scandal. His crucial revelations to journalists Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein exposed the scandal, which ultimately led to President Richard Nixon's resignation. What traditionally represents a fifth-year wedding anniversary? Wood. Traditional anniversary gifts often carry symbolic meanings. Wood, representing the fifth anniversary, symbolizes the strength, durability, and deep roots that have developed in the marital relationship over time. In physics, what single-word term normally represents the rate of change of position? Velocity. In physics, velocity is a vector quantity that describes both the speed and direction of an object's motion. It is formally defined as the rate at which an object changes its position over time. What is the name of the blue rose unveiled by Japanese company Suntree in October 2009? Applause. The applause blue rose was developed by the Japanese company Suntree through genetic engineering. It was the world's first genetically modified blue rose, achieved by inserting a gene from pansies responsible for producing the blue pigment delphinidum. The Order of the British Empire was founded by which monarch? George V. The Most Excellent Order of the British Empire is a British Order of Chivalry, established on June 4, 1917, by King George V. It recognizes contributions to the arts and sciences, public services, and charitable work across the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth. In the human body, what is the common name for hemicrania? Migraine. Hemicrania is a medical term derived from Greek, literally meaning half a skull. It is commonly known as migraine, a type of headache characterized by recurrent, severe throbbing pain or a pulsating sensation, typically on one side of the head. Elsanta is a variety of which fruit? Strawberry. Elsanta is a highly popular and widely cultivated variety of strawberry, known for its good yield, firm fruits, and excellent shelf life. It was developed in the Netherlands in 1981 and is favored by both commercial growers and consumers for its robust qualities. What was the submarine developed by U.S. engineer Robert Fulton in 1803? Nautilus. Robert Fulton, an American engineer and inventor, developed the Nautilus in 1800, which was one of the first practical submarines. Although his early designs were not adopted for military use, his pioneering work significantly advanced submarine technology and marine engineering. TR is the International Vehicle Registration Code for which country? Turkey. International Vehicle Registration Codes are country codes displayed on vehicles in international traffic, typically on a small oval white sticker. TR is the designated international code for vehicles registered in Turkey, a transcontinental country located mainly on Anatolia in Western Asia. What animal is a brocket? Deer. A brocket refers to several species of small to medium-sized deer native to the Americas, predominantly found in Central and South America. They are distinguished by their simple, spike-like antlers, which is also how the term brocket originated, referring to a male deer in its second year with unbranched antlers. What is the 10th and final day of the Hindu festival of Navratri called? Dashehra. Dashehra, also known as Vijayadashami, marks the end of Navratri. It celebrates the victory of good over evil, specifically Lord Rama's triumph over the demon king Ravana, or goddess Durga's victory over Mahishasura. Who authored the classic two-part 19th century German play Faust? Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe's Faust is a seminal work of German literature, a tragic play in two parts published in 1808 and 1832. It is considered one of the most important works of Western literature, exploring themes of human ambition, knowledge, and salvation. Which British politician was elected as the Member of Parliament for Finchley in 1959? Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher, later Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, began her parliamentary career as the MP for Finchley in 1959. She served in this constituency until 1992, playing a significant role in British politics throughout the latter half of the 20th century. What term, originated by former Yahoo! Vice President and author Seth Godin, describes a marketing strategy where potential customers opt in to receive advertising? Permission marketing. Permission marketing, a concept introduced by Seth Godin, is a non-traditional marketing approach where consumers give explicit consent to receive promotional messages. This method is based on building a relationship with customers, making advertising more targeted and effective compared to interruptive marketing. To whom are the famous Latin words, veni, vidi, vici, attributed, following his victory over Pharnaces II of Pontus? Julius Caesar. Veni, vidi, vici, I came, I saw, I conquered, is a celebrated Latin phrase reportedly uttered by Julius Caesar in 47 BC after his swift victory at the Battle of Zela against Pharnaces II of Pontus. The phrase signifies a quick and decisive triumph, encapsulating Caesar's military prowess. What term denotes the practice, now largely illegal, where employment by an organization is contingent upon prior membership in a trade union? Closed shop. A closed shop is a form of union security agreement where an employer agrees to hire only trade union members, and new employees must join the union before starting work. This practice is now restricted or illegal in many countries due to concerns about individual freedom and anti-competitive practices. In which part of the human body is the Eustachian tube located? The ear. The Eustachian tube, also known as the auditory tube, is a narrow tube connecting the middle ear cavity to the nasopharynx. Its primary function is to equalize pressure between the middle ear and the outside atmosphere, crucial for proper hearing and preventing discomfort during changes in altitude. What is the craft of cutting and polishing stones or gems? Lapidary. Lapidary is the art and practice of shaping, polishing, and cutting gemstones and rocks. This craft involves various techniques like faceting, cabochon cutting, and carving, often employed in jewelry making and decorative arts. What consultancy firm devised the 7S framework corporate analysis model? McKinsey & Company. The McKinsey 7S framework is a management model developed in the early 1980s by Tom Peters and Robert Waterman, consultants at McKinsey & Company. It identifies 7 interdependent elements of an organization: strategy, structure, systems, shared values, skills, staff, and style, that must be aligned for successful performance. Who wrote The Joy of Sex, published in 1972? Alex Comfort. The Joy of Sex is a 1972 illustrated non-fiction book by Alex Comfort, an English physician and gerontologist. Presented as a gourmet guide to lovemaking, it became a highly influential and best-selling manual during the sexual revolution, advocating for a healthy and experimental approach to sexuality. By which name was American artist Anna Mary Robertson Moses, who began painting in her 70s, better known? Grandma Moses. Anna Mary Robertson Moses, widely known as Grandma Moses, was a celebrated American folk artist. She began her distinguished painting career in her late 70s, creating vibrant and nostalgic scenes of rural American life, achieving international fame in her later years. Used by ancient Greeks and Romans, what is a pelter? Shield. A pelter was a light shield, typically crescent-shaped or moon-shaped, primarily associated with the Thracian peltasts. It was also adopted by the ancient Greeks and Romans for certain light infantry units, valued for its maneuverability in combat. Pedagogy as the art or profession of what? Teaching. Pedagogy refers to the method and practice of teaching, encompassing educational theory and instructional strategies. It considers how students learn, the learning environment, and the interactions between teachers, students, and the learning content. Anna Kournikova, Michelangelo, I Love You, and Melissa were examples of what? Computer virus. Anna Kournikova, Michelangelo, I Love You, and Melissa were notorious computer viruses that caused widespread disruption in the late 20th and early 21st centuries. These viruses exploited vulnerabilities in operating systems and email clients, demonstrating the early challenges of cybersecurity. What is the short ladder made of webbing or rope used in mountaineering? Yttria. An atria is a type of short, lightweight ladder constructed from webbing or rope, primarily used in mountaineering and climbing. It provides climbers with aid climbing capabilities, allowing them to ascend otherwise impossible sections by standing in the loops. In which German city is the Brandhorst Museum located? Munich. The Brandhorst Museum in Munich is renowned for its extensive collection of modern and contemporary art, particularly works from the late 20th and 21st centuries. It is known for its focus on artists like Andy Warhol, Cy Twombly, and Bruce Nauman. On which Greek island is the Palace of Knossos situated? Crete. The Palace of Knossos is the largest Bronze Age archaeological site on Crete, believed to be the ceremonial and political center of the Minoan civilization. It is famously associated with the legend of the Minotaur and the Labyrinth, and was extensively excavated by Sir Arthur Evans. What is the title of Niccolò Machiavelli's influential book on political leadership, published in 1532? The Prince. The Prince, by Niccolò Machiavelli, is a 16th-century political treatise offering practical advice on how to acquire and maintain political power. It is renowned for its pragmatic and often controversial realpolitik approach, which prioritizes effective governance over moral considerations. Who was the first Prime Minister of Canada? Sir John A. Macdonald. Sir John A. Macdonald was the first Prime Minister of Canada, serving from 1867 to 1873 and again from 1878 to 1891. He is considered one of the fathers of Confederation, playing a crucial role in the formation of the Dominion of Canada. Balliol College is a constituent college of which British university? Oxford. Balliol College is one of the constituent colleges of the University of Oxford in England, founded around 1263. It is one of Oxford's oldest colleges and has educated numerous prominent figures in politics, science, and literature. Which U.S. state is known as the Magnolia State? Mississippi. Mississippi is known as the Magnolia State due to the abundance of magnolia trees, particularly the southern magnolia, which is its state flower and state tree. The nickname reflects the state's lush natural beauty and characteristic flora. Carol Ann Duffy became the first woman to hold which prestigious British cultural office? British Poet Laureate. Carol Ann Duffy was appointed Poet Laureate of the United Kingdom in 2009, becoming the first woman, the first Scot, and the first openly LGBT person to hold the position. The Poet Laureate is an honorary role appointed by the monarch to compose poems for national occasions. The Greek word for moral character is the root of which English term referring to moral principles in business and professional activities? Ethics. The English word ethics is derived from the Greek word ethos, meaning character or custom. Ethics, as a field of philosophy, deals with moral principles that govern a person's or group's behavior, particularly concerning business and professional conduct. Which city in the UK is home to the oldest Chamber of Commerce? Glasgow. The Glasgow Chamber of Commerce, founded in 1783, is recognized as the oldest Chamber of Commerce in the United Kingdom. It was established to promote and protect the commercial interests of the city's merchants and traders, reflecting Glasgow's historical importance as a major trading hub. Katakana is a symbol system of which language? Japanese. Katakana is one of the three primary Japanese writing systems, alongside hiragana and kanji. It is predominantly used for transliterating foreign words and names, as well as for emphasis or onomatopoeia, distinguishing non-native vocabulary. In which African country is Lake Turkana? Kenya. Lake Turkana, often referred to as the Jade Sea, is a large endorheic lake situated in the Great Rift Valley, primarily within Kenya, with its northernmost tip extending into Ethiopia. It is the world's largest permanent desert lake and the largest alkaline lake by volume. Miliaria is the medical name for what condition? Prickly heat. Miliaria is a common skin condition resulting from blocked sweat ducts, leading to sweat becoming trapped beneath the skin's surface. It is characterized by an itchy, red rash and typically occurs in hot, humid environments. What color are the flowers of the various plants known as celandines? Yellow. Celandines refer to several species of flowering plants, most notably the lesser celandine, Facaria verna, and the greater celandine, Chelidonium major, which are distinguished by their bright yellow blossoms. These plants are often found in woodlands and disturbed areas. The Swiss Re Tower in London is commonly known by what name? The Gherkin. The Swiss Re Tower, officially known as 30 St. Mary Axe, is a landmark skyscraper in London's financial district. Its distinctive, curvilinear architectural design led to its popular nickname, the Gherkin, making it a prominent feature of the city's skyline. The Babington plot was devised to kill which English monarch? Queen Elizabeth I. The Babington plot was a significant conspiracy in 1586 aimed at assassinating Queen Elizabeth I and placing Mary, Queen of Scots, on the English throne. The plot's discovery, largely through intercepted coded letters, directly led to Mary's trial and execution for treason. In which decade did Queen Victoria's husband die? 1860s. Prince Albert, Queen Victoria's husband, died on December 14, 1861. His death deeply affected Queen Victoria and led to her long period of mourning, significantly impacting the British monarchy and public life during the Victorian era. What is an animal called whose diet consists mainly of leaves? Folivore. A folivore is a herbivore that specializes in eating leaves. Examples include koalas, sloths, and some primate species. These animals often have specialized digestive systems to break down cellulose and other compounds found in leaves. Carceral relates to what type of building? Prison. The term, carceral, is an adjective derived from the Latin word, carcer, meaning prison or jail. It is used to describe anything related to prisons, incarceration, or the penal system, such as carceral institutions or carceral policies. How many vertebrae bones does a human usually have? 33. The human vertebral column typically consists of 33 vertebrae, including 7 cervical, 12 thoracic, 5 lumbar, 5 fused sacral, and 4 fused coccygeal vertebrae. These bones provide support for the body and protect the spinal cord. What official reporting statement shows a company's financial situation, notably assets, at a point in time? Balance sheet. A balance sheet is a financial statement that provides a snapshot of a company's assets, liabilities, and owner's equity at a specific point in time. It adheres to the accounting equation, assets equals liabilities plus equity, offering crucial insights into a company's financial health. What island was previously called Formosa? Taiwan. The island of Taiwan was historically known as Formosa, a name given to it by Portuguese explorers in the 16th century, meaning, beautiful island. This historical name reflects its natural beauty and was widely used in Western contexts until the mid-20th century. In which UK city was artist L.S. Lowry born? Manchester. L.S. Lowry, Lawrence Stephen Lowry, was born in Stretford, Lancashire, which is now part of Greater Manchester, in 1887. He is renowned for his distinctive paintings of industrial scenes in the northwest of England, often featuring matchstick-like figures and dark urban landscapes. Which 5 excretory organs of the human body can be remembered using the acronym SKILL? Skin, kidneys, intestines, liver, lungs. The human body utilizes several organs for excretion, which is the process of removing metabolic waste products. These include the skin, excreting sweat, kidneys, filtering blood to produce urine, intestines, eliminating solid waste, liver, detoxifying substances and producing bile, and lungs, expelling carbon dioxide. In which month is Columbus Day, commemorating the discovery of America, celebrated? October. Columbus Day is a national holiday in many countries, particularly in the Americas, that commemorates Christopher Columbus's arrival in the Americas on October 12, 1492. It is typically observed on the second Monday of October in the United States and on October 12 in many Latin American nations. In corporate finance, what term, preceded by black or white, refers to a company mounting a hostile or helpful takeover bid, respectively? Knight. In the context of corporate mergers and acquisitions, a white knight refers to a friendly investor or company that acquires a target company to save it from a hostile takeover by an undesirable black knight. This terminology highlights the strategic roles played by different entities in a takeover bid. Named after the Spanish city where it was first produced, what kind of material is cordovan? Leather. Cordovan is a distinct type of leather, renowned for its exceptional durability and glossy finish. It is traditionally made from the fibrous flat muscle layer beneath the hide on the rump of a horse, and its name originates from the city of Córdoba in Spain, a historic center for fine leather craftsmanship. What is the legal and business term for a virtual barrier established between two corporate departments that, often for regulatory or ethical reasons, must not share sensitive information? Chinese wall. A Chinese wall is an ethical and legal barrier within an organization designed to prevent the exchange of sensitive information or communication between departments that could lead to conflicts of interest or insider trading. This concept is particularly vital in financial services, law firms, and other sectors requiring strict confidentiality and regulatory compliance. What Latin warning phrase attempts to transfer risk to users or customers, meaning, buyer beware? Caveat emptor. Caveat emptor is a Latin legal phrase meaning, let the buyer beware. It signifies that buyers are responsible for checking the quality and suitability of goods before purchase, thereby transferring the risk of defects to them in the absence of fraud or warranty. Owain Gwynedd of Wales defeated which English king in battle? Henry II. Owain Gwynedd was a powerful Welsh prince who successfully resisted English expansion in the 12th century. He engaged in conflicts with King Henry II of England, notably securing concessions and demonstrating Welsh military strength during his reign. Who wrote the book The Woman in White? Wilkie Collins. Wilkie Collins was a prominent English novelist and playwright, known for his sensation novels. The Woman in White, published in 1859, is considered one of the earliest mystery novels and a pioneering work of detective fiction, influencing many subsequent authors. What word for a waterway refers to the distribution route by which a product or service reaches its customers? Channel. In business and economics, a channel refers to the entire distribution network that links a producer with its ultimate consumers. This route includes all intermediaries and processes involved in making a product or service available for use or consumption. What does a carminative drug relieve? Flatulence. A carminative drug or herb is a substance designed to prevent the formation of gas in the gastrointestinal tract or to aid in its expulsion. It effectively relieves symptoms such as bloating, discomfort, and flatulence. What economic term, often associated with the dairy industry, describes the rate of customer turnover or loss, typically expressed as an annual percentage? Churn. In business and economics, churn refers to the rate at which customers cease their relationship with a company or service. While the question alludes to a dairy term, its primary relevance is as a business metric, indicating customer attrition over a specific period. In Greek mythology, who was the youth beloved by Apollo, who was accidentally killed, and from whose spilled blood Apollo caused the flower to bloom? Hyacinth. Hyacinth was a beautiful Spartan prince in Greek mythology, loved by Apollo. He was accidentally killed by Apollo with a discus, and from his blood, Apollo created the hyacinth flower as a memorial. This myth is a significant part of classical literature and cultural studies. What business strategy term describes the undesirable reduction in sales volume, market share, or revenue of a product as a result of the introduction of a new product by the same producer? Cannibalization. Cannibalization in business occurs when a new product introduced by a company takes sales away from an older, existing product of the same company. While the question uses a vivid analogy, the core concept is a crucial aspect of product portfolio management and marketing strategy. Which castle is recognized as the largest in Wales? Caerphilly Castle. Caerphilly Castle, located in South Wales, is the largest castle in Wales and the second largest in Great Britain, after Windsor Castle. It is a massive medieval fortress, notable for its concentric defences, and was constructed by Gilbert de Clare in the 13th century. What Greek letter is commonly used to denote a pre-release version of software or a website that is made available to a limited audience for testing before its official launch? Beta. In software development, beta refers to a phase where a product is feature complete but likely to contain a number of known or unknown bugs. Beta versions are typically released to a wider audience for testing, feedback, and bug reporting before the final stable release. In Roman mythology, who was the principal deity, regarded as the god of thunder, lightning, and the sky, and king of the gods? Jupiter. Jupiter, also known as Jove, was the king of the gods and the god of the sky and thunder in ancient Roman religion and myth. He was the chief deity of the Roman state religion throughout the republican and imperial eras, often equated with the Greek god Zeus. To which botanical family or type of vegetable does kohlrabi belong? Cabbage, Brassica oleracea. Kohlrabi, scientifically known as Brassica oleracea gongylodes group, is a biennial vegetable that is a low, stout cultivar of the wild cabbage. It is part of the same species as cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, kale, collard greens, and Brussels sprouts. In business strategy and finance, what term, often paired with cash, describes a product or business unit that generates significant profits with relatively low investment, typically having a high market share in a mature industry? Cash cow. A cash cow is a business term from the Boston Consulting Group, BCG, matrix, referring to a product or company division that has a large market share in a mature industry and generates more cash than it consumes. These entities are typically stable, profitable, and require minimal investment to maintain their market position. In which country are the Ajanta caves? India. The Ajanta caves are ancient Buddhist rock-cut cave monuments located in the Aurangabad district of Maharashtra, India. A UNESCO World Heritage Site, these caves are renowned for their exquisite murals and sculptures that depict the life of Buddha and Jatak tales, dating from the 2nd century BCE to about 480 CE. What German publisher's name became famous for a series of worldwide travel guides? Karl Baedeker. Karl Baedeker was a prominent German publisher known for pioneering a series of comprehensive travel guides in the 19th century. These Baedeker guides were characterized by their detailed information, maps, and star ratings, setting the standard for modern travel literature and influencing generations of travelers. What type of creature is a logrunner? Bird. A logrunner is a type of bird belonging to the Orthonyx genus, found in Australia and New Guinea. These ground-dwelling birds are recognized for their distinctive foraging behavior, where they meticulously scratch and move leaf litter and logs in search of insects. What is the name of a triangle which has two equal sides and two equal angles? Isosceles. An isosceles triangle is a polygon with three sides, distinguished by having at least two sides of equal length. A fundamental property of an isosceles triangle is that the angles opposite these equal sides are also equal, forming a key concept in geometry. What is a squirrel's nest called? Dray. A dray is the term used for a squirrel's nest, typically built in the forks or hollows of trees. These nests are constructed from twigs, leaves, moss, and other plant material, providing shelter for squirrels and their young throughout the year. Who is considered the world's most stolen artist? Picasso. Pablo Picasso, the highly influential Spanish artist known for co-founding the Cubist movement, is widely regarded as the world's most stolen artist. The immense value, distinctiveness, and global recognition of his works make them frequent targets for art theft. In which month does the vernal equinox occur? March. The vernal equinox, also known as the spring equinox in the northern hemisphere, typically occurs around March 20th or 21st each year. During an equinox, the sun crosses the celestial equator, resulting in approximately equal hours of daylight and darkness across most of the earth. Tolo TV was Afghanistan's leading independent TV company, as at 2010. In which country is it based? Afghanistan. Tolo TV, launched in 2004, rapidly became Afghanistan's leading independent television station by 2010. It played a crucial role in the country's media landscape, offering diverse programming including news, dramas, and entertainment, and fostering public discourse. Who founded the Amazon website? Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos founded Amazon.com, Inc. in 1994, initially establishing it as an online bookstore. Under his visionary leadership, Amazon transformed into a global e-commerce behemoth and a leading provider of cloud computing services, Amazon Web Services, significantly impacting retail and technology sectors worldwide. What figurative construction expression refers to an unfair barrier to career advancement, especially for females and minorities? Glass ceiling. The glass ceiling is a metaphorical barrier that prevents qualified women and minorities from advancing to upper-level positions in a hierarchy. This concept highlights invisible yet real barriers based on prejudice and discrimination, rather than a lack of qualifications or experience. Kentish ale, Jersey Royal potatoes, Arbroath Smokies, and Melton Mowbray pork pies are among foods having what special status? EU name protection. These foods are protected under the European Union's Geographical Indications (GI) scheme, which safeguards product names linked to a specific geographical region and production method. This status helps prevent imitation and ensures the authenticity of traditional regional products. In 1791, George Hammond was appointed the first British envoy to which country? USA. George Hammond's appointment as the first British envoy to the United States in 1791 marked a significant step in the diplomatic relations between the two newly independent nations. This occurred shortly after the American Revolutionary War and was crucial for establishing formal bilateral ties. The UK's Inns of Court is made up of how many legal societies? 4. The UK's Inns of Court are comprised of 4 legal societies: Lincoln's Inn, Inner Temple, Middle Temple, and Gray's Inn. These ancient institutions hold the exclusive right to call candidates to the bar, meaning they are responsible for training and regulating barristers in England and Wales. Pianist and composer Frédéric Chopin was born in which country? Poland. Frédéric Chopin, one of the greatest masters of Romantic music, was born in Zelezowa Wola, Poland, in 1810. Although he spent much of his adult life in France, his Polish heritage profoundly influenced his compositions, especially his mazurkas and polonaises. Ophidiophobia is an abnormal fear of what creatures? Snakes. Ophidiophobia is the specific phobia characterized by an intense and irrational fear of snakes. This condition is one of the most common animal phobias and can cause significant distress and avoidance behavior in affected individuals. Who painted a self-portrait called Bandaged Ear and Pipe? Vincent van Gogh. Vincent van Gogh painted Self-Portrait with Bandaged Ear and Pipe in January 1889, shortly after the infamous incident where he mutilated his own ear. This painting is a powerful representation of his personal struggles and distinctive artistic style. Gingivitis is the inflammation of which part of the human body? Gums. Gingivitis is the inflammation of the gums, typically caused by bacterial plaque buildup around the teeth. If left untreated, it can progress to periodontitis, a more severe form of gum disease that can lead to tooth loss. Who wrote the novel Ivanhoe? Sir Walter Scott. Sir Walter Scott, a prominent figure in Romantic literature, published Ivanhoe in 1819. The historical novel is set in 12th century England and depicts the conflicts between Saxons and Normans. Who became leader of the British National Party in 1999? Nick Griffin. Nick Griffin led the British National Party, BNP, a far-right political party in the UK, from 1999 to 2014. Under his leadership, the party gained its highest ever electoral support, including 2 seats in the European Parliament in 2009. An isohyet or isohyetal line on a map connects 2 points having the same what? Rainfall. An isohyet is a contour line on a map that connects points of equal rainfall over a specified period. These lines are crucial in climatology and meteorology for representing precipitation patterns and distribution across geographical areas. Lolo rosso is a variety of which vegetable? Lettuce. Lolo rosso is a distinctive loose-leaf lettuce variety known for its ruffled, dark red-edged leaves and mild, slightly bitter taste. It is widely used in salads and as a garnish for its attractive appearance and nutritional value. What is the portmanteau word, a 2-word combination, for a symbol of feeling, used in electronic messages? Emoticon. An emoticon is a pictorial representation of a facial expression using punctuation marks, numbers, and letters, typically used to express a person's mood or feeling in text communication. It is a portmanteau of emotion and icon, illustrating a blend of form and function. In which London park is the Albert Memorial? Hyde Park. The Albert Memorial is a grand monument located in Kensington Gardens, which is adjacent to Hyde Park, London. Commissioned by Queen Victoria in memory of her beloved husband, Prince Albert, it was designed by George Gilbert Scott and unveiled in 1872. The city of Akron is in which U.S. state? Ohio. Akron is a city in the U.S. state of Ohio, located on the Little Cuyahoga River. Historically, it was a major center for rubber and tire manufacturing, earning it the nickname, Rubber Capital of the World. Kimchi is a traditional dish of which country? Korea. Kimchi is a staple Korean side dish made of salted and fermented vegetables, most commonly Napa cabbage and Korean radish, with a wide variety of seasonings. It is renowned for its spicy, sour flavor and its probiotic health benefits. In Greek mythology, how many labors did Hercules have to perform? 12. In Greek mythology, Hercules was tasked with performing 12 monumental labors as penance for killing his wife and children in a fit of madness. These heroic deeds, ranging from slaying mythical beasts to cleaning the Augean stables, are central to his legend. The U.S. Federal National Mortgage Association is known by what girl's name, which puns its initials? Fannie Mae. The Federal National Mortgage Association, FNMA, commonly known as Fannie Mae, is a government-sponsored enterprise, GSE, in the United States. Its primary purpose is to expand the secondary mortgage market by securitizing mortgages, making mortgage funds more available and affordable for home buyers. What semi-precious gemstone is hyalite a variety of? Opal. Hyalite is a colorless, glassy variety of common opal, known for its botryoidal or globular formations. It is an amorphous form of silica with water content and is sometimes referred to as water opal or Muller's glass. Who proposed the expectancy theory of motivation? Victor Vroom. Victor Vroom, a professor at Yale School of Management, developed the expectancy theory of motivation in 1964. This theory posits that individuals are motivated to act in a certain way based on the expectation that their effort will lead to performance, which will then result in a desired outcome. What is the real name of the painter and sculptor known as El Greco? Domenikos Theotokopoulos. Domenikos Theotokopoulos, commonly known as El Greco, meaning the Greek, was a Greek painter, sculptor, and architect of the Spanish Renaissance. He is renowned for his dramatic and expressionistic style, often depicting religious themes with elongated figures and vibrant, often clashing, colors. Omophagy refers to the practice of eating what? Raw meat. Omophagy is a term derived from Greek words, omos, raw, and phagion, to eat, describing the consumption of raw flesh. Historically, it has been associated with certain religious rituals or specific dietary practices in various cultures. Which office in the House of Commons was first held by Peter de la Mare? Speaker. Peter de la Mare is recognized as the first Speaker of the English House of Commons, holding the office in 1377. His election marked an early formalization of the role of a spokesman for the Commons in negotiations with the Crown and the Lords. On which river is the city of St. Petersburg in Russia situated? Neva River. St. Petersburg, a major Russian city, is strategically located on the Neva River at the head of the Gulf of Finland in the Baltic Sea. The Neva River connects Lake Ladoga, Europe's largest freshwater lake, to the Baltic Sea.